Hi, this is Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California, here today with my typical very messy hair to talk to you about how to get from handstand down to crow. Now I have another video that's crow to handstand. It's a much trickier move, but go ahead and check that out if you're feeling pretty ambitious. Meantime, let's go into this pose because it actually is a really valuable skill because the essence of coming down into crow is just learning to come down slowly in general from your handstand, which means fewer broken toes and a happy landing. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna go to the wall, so if you don't have a wall, get a wall, build a wall, I don't care what you do, get a wall. We're gonna start with our hands about a foot away from the wall. You don't wanna be too close because you're gonna have to lean into this one a little bit. I kick up. Okay, so there's my handstand. I'm a little away from the wall so you can see the back bend here. Now, the key to coming down slowly is I need to sort of compact my body. Okay? The smaller my body is, so to speak, the easier it's going to be to come down in control. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knees. Now, watch what happens when I bend my knees. It's like there's a butt magnet in my wall, and my butt is pulling into the wall. Okay? So this is a very important action because in that action, which is butt to wall, is the counter action, the counterbalance for this pose. Now when I come down, in order to come down in control, I have to try to maintain the height of my hips for as long as possible. So the action is going to be, first, I'm just going to try to get my knees to my chest. So I look way forward here. My feet start to come off the wall. And I pull my knees into my chest. But my hips remain high, and my feet come forward to come in lightly. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what most people miss out on. When they're trying to come down from their handstands, it's like their feet are like must touch earth, like I want the ground. And so, in so doing, their whole body's like, I want to come too, I want the ground. I hate it up here, it's scary, okay. So let me show you what happens to most people when they're trying to do this. And you might want to videotape yourself to understand what's going on with your hips. Because if you're slamming into the floor and you're not landing like a feather, there's a good chance you're doing this. So here's my kick up. And so let's give you the benefit of the doubt. There's my butt magnet. Now, a lot of people, watch what happens to my hips. My feet start to come down and my hips come with them. Okay, can you see how there's not going to be any real balance if like my shoulders are over here and my hips are over here, right? Like that's just going to throw me like right onto the floor. So I need to try to avoid that. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine you have this like ball of energy, okay? I don't care, it could be a big ball, it could be a small ball, but there's a ball and it's right there. Like if you were pregnant, like it would be like right there, okay? Imagine you're pregnant, but you're not because this would be really hard to do if you're pregnant. And now I want you to imagine like your hips are gonna pivot your legs around this ball of energy and under it. Okay, because here's where my feet are. So my legs start up here and they're gonna curl around the ball of energy and down to my feet. Okay, because usually what happens is here's my feet and right, I slam into the floor. Okay, so imagine now watching me, ball of energy, and watch how I curl around it to come down slowly. Okay, watch how I can't even walk a couple steps to my mat without falling. That's how graceful and balanced I really am in real life. Okay, here we go. I'm up. There's my butt magnet. My gaze is forward. My arms are super strong, and here go my legs. I'm going to pivot, so my hips stay high as long as possible, tush back. I'm going to start to pivot around that ball of energy. Notice my hips stay high, 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 and only at the last minute do my feet come down. Okay, so this is the first skill you're absolutely going to have to master before you can come into crow. Okay, so once you got that, okay, let's move on. Okay, let's talk about getting into and out of crow at the wall, okay? On this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our heads and we're gonna shove them into the wall. Okay, we're gonna press it so hard, like you're trying to get your head to smash through the wall, but don't. You don't actually want your head to smash through the wall, okay? I actually just replaced this wall recently because somebody smashed through it. not doing crow, but doing a handstand. So that's besides the point, okay? I have a nice new wall. I think it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and press my head into it. I'm gonna try really hard not to smash through it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the leverage of my head pressing into the wall to help me, A, with my lift, and B, with my balance. I'm gonna come up, and then I'm gonna come down the same way I just did, but with my head on the wall, it's gonna give me a little bit, just that little tiny bit of extra balance to take me into an actual crow. Okay, now the hardest part about this is you gotta sort of figure out how far to go from the wall. I don't have a hard and fast rule for this, so you gotta just sort of feel it out a little bit. You're gonna place your hands down. Your head has to be able to lean forward into the wall, so that's sort of like how far. So you can just go like this, make sure your head hits the wall, okay? You want your shoulders to be a little bit in front of the wrist, and you look forward, and you press your head into the wall, and there's your press up. Now that's the easy part. The hard part, guys, is coming down. Notice my shoulders are above my wrists. Now when you come down, you have to stay way forward. Pretend that I just crazy glued your head to the wall. As long as your head stays on the wall, this is going to be easy. Bend your knees. Think about that ball of energy. Curl it in and in. Head stays glued on the wall. And there's my crow. Okay, now, I can't emphasize enough. If your head comes off the wall, or it goes through the wall, this isn't going to be so easy, okay? Then you're doing actually coming down, which is great. If you come down without the wall, then you don't need this video anymore. But press your head into the wall like you're trying to flatten out your head. Like you can walk out of here and you'll just have like this nice little like flat top without having to cut your hair. Okay, so that's the second skill. If you got that, then you can start trying it in the middle of the room. Now, really in the middle of the room, it's the same as these two things put together. There's nothing new or exciting about it. But here's the thing. You have to remember there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, why do I say that? Because people get 90% into this, and then they're like, oh, I'm there, and then they go in, and then they just fall because they lose it on that last 10%. That last 10% is the most important 10%, so don't lose it from beginning to end. Okay, so, I'll go this way. Okay, I'm just going to do this off the wall, but you can certainly do it in front of the wall if that works better for you. First, I'm going to kick up into my handstand. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to imagine that ball of energy. I'm going to curl around it. Forward, 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 forward. No light, no light, no light. And there's my crow. Notice how far forward my shoulders are, by the way. Because if my shoulders are back here, I'm down. Okay, so the keys are, I need to keep my hips as long as possible above my shoulders, okay? I need to keep my shoulders above or even slightly in front of my wrists. Looking forward helps a lot, and remember kids, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Wait until you're balanced before you're ready to come out. This is Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California, and I look forward to seeing you again really soon.